Kill the Lights by Tony Molina is a 14-minute indie rock album. I suppose 14 minutes would make you think it's more of an EP, but Tony Molina is the type of artist that releases like 10, 12, 14-minute albums and packs in quite a lot in the short runtime that they are. I first found out about this artist in 2014 through the Dissed and Dismissed album that he dropped, which was actually pretty cool, a 11-minute album that again was very good and 10 tracks long, and I discovered it through Mr. Anthony Fantano, so I've kind of been keeping tabs on this guy since, and I'm very happy that I kept up with Tony Molina because Kill the Lights is by far better in my opinion and one of my favourites of the year. This is a heartbreaking, melancholic album which sees Tony Molina deal with the loss of a loved one, perhaps through a breakup, and Tony Molina goes through these hardships in such a beautiful way. Like, some of these tracks are absolutely heart-wrenching, but listening to him sing in his beautiful voice over these gorgeous instrumentals is quite to die for, actually. Quite to die for, if that's even a thing to say. I really like how short these tracks are though, because I think it fits the feelings that you would go through in this typical instance, because I think sometimes we kind of go through these short bursts of feeling these things when we go through a breakup, and then we move on to something else that we think about, which is also just depressing and dour. And stretching that out over like an hour-long album could be amazing, and has been before. There have been artists that have done it in the past, but I think doing it in this such short runtime makes you dwell on the things that he's saying a little bit more, and the impact hits you harder because you haven't got as long to think about it. And I think that makes it a little bit more real, you know? These kind of breakups and relationships hit you hard and you don't always have time to take it all in, you know? The opening track is a bit peppier in comparison to the rest of the album. It's very much 90s indie rock, just to a T. It actually reminds me of the band The Lemonheads. If anyone remembers It's a Shame About Ray, it's kind of like that instrumental. As we go further into this mini album, things get a little bit more sadder as time goes on and more melancholic, and it ends up transforming into this sort of indie folk journey that reminds me a lot of artists like Sufjan Stevens, Nick Drake, even Mount Eerie. You know, some of Mount Eerie's work really resembles this kind of feel. But these tracks sound absolutely gorgeous. The guitar tones on these songs, the harmonica that comes in on They're Afraid to Go Outside. It's just wonderful to listen to, and it's a real shame that everything surrounding it is so sad, you know, because just as instrumentals, they are absolutely wonderful. Yeah, for sure, these songs are written in a very general way. Yeah, you know, the instrumentation isn't exactly reinventing the wheel, but it's done in a very brilliant way to me. I think my biggest criticism is easily that this album could have been longer. You know, I think that's a pretty obvious criticism, but I think 14 minutes works in its favour, but at the same time it could have been at least like 20 minutes. I think extend some of these instrumentals out a little bit longer, you know, add some new ideas, and you know, just make it at least 20 minutes. But apart from that, there isn't really much bad to say. Everything here is in its right place, and Tony Molina can write a friggin' great song. I'll give him that. So yeah, if you're looking for an absolutely heartbreaking, melancholic, at times slightly melodramatic breakup album, but it's also incredibly realistic, then this is going to be the one for you. I'm going to go 8 out of 10. Really like this album. Make sure you check it out. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on this album. And that is everything. Yeah, have a good day. Listen to this album. Go.